Hello there. It's Sunday, May 17th, 6:36 p.m. How y'all doing? It is seemingly day 5,000 of of the lockdown, and it's getting to be a bit much. I'm a borderline hermit, but this is getting to be a bit much. But gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, um, thought I'd just talk a little bit this week about some of the things that I'm working on, some of the things that are coming up, um, and just a little bit of a review. Some things that I'm just starting, some things that I'm um, still, some things I'm getting back to, and some things that I'm still plugging forward on. Um, Firstly, Wanderer. Yes, it's coming. I have the manuscript is edited. I have a couple of minor things to do. I'm still thinking about putting together a little note for the end because the story of Wanderer making its way to publication is almost as torturous as the story of Brianna and the Three, almost. Excuse me. And so that's coming. Covers made and all that. So it's one or two things and it's ready to go. Hopefully end of the month, beginning of June, I'll actually have that out and ready to go. Um, the next one that will actually end up being, well, as of right now, the next one that'll actually end up being published is My Soul to Keep, but it's still a few weeks away um, from starting editing, so I'm not even thinking about publishing that yet. Um, it's going to take a lot of work. It is going to take a lot of work it kind of sags in the little in a little bit in the middle. There's some issues with repetition, and it kind of gets rushed at the end. So, but I'll deal with that in editing. That's what editing's for. Excuse me, get this tickle in my throat. Um, in regard to things that I'm still working on. My vampire novel, Under the Dark of the Moon, continues. I continue plowing through the 22 chapters that I had previously written before I left the project a quite a while ago. Now I want to get back to it, so I'm charging through, rewriting the chapters, cleaning them up. You can think of it as a line by line edit because I'm a better writer now than I was when I wrote them. Some things have come out, some things have are getting tweaked right now, and hopefully, I just started chapter 18. There's 22 chapters written, so once I get through that, then hopefully I'll be able to continue and charge forward to get this finished. Um, Also, moving forward, I finished the first section um, of the fast fading light. I had, as I've said, I had to go back and rewrite that from the beginning also because I wasn't sitting too well the way it was going, but it feels better now. Um, so now I have to just continue writing it to the end. Also, I've gotten back into a story called To See Beyond the Veil. Originally, it had been titled Mated Souls. The title's probably going to change again because I'm not 100% thrilled with To See Beyond the Veil. Uh, so that's probably going to change. It's a story of it's another EarthGov security story. Another one about Division Two, about a courier named Special Agent Deborah McNally. When it starts off, she's uh, en route to make a delivery, but she gets called back. She realizes she's being followed. She from her, she knows she stunned the guy who's pursuing her, but when she gets back to Orlando, where Division 2 is headquartered, she's accused of murdering him, and then it kind of builds from there, and hopefully it's kind of a twist ending that I can, if I can pull it off without telegraphing it too far in advance, then everything will be good. So those are the projects that are currently on that I'm currently working on. There's a few more, a couple more actually, that I'm just starting. Even though I keep telling myself I don't want to start another project before I get some more finished. That's not the way my brain works. One of them is actually a sequel to On a Cold Wind, called Dissembler, Dissembler. It's within the future history of the late 22nd century. There's a designer recreational drug called Dissembler. It's illegal. It only affects enhanced humans. And the reason it's illegal, it's a controlled substance. It is illegal to own. The thing is, a small portion will induce ecstasy. Too much will bring on psychotic rage. And the line between the two is so fine. It's so easy to go over. Now, it only works with enhanced humans because it reacts with the beryllium that's bonded to their bones. And it picks up it's not a direct sequel. It does take place some months later, after On a Cold Wind. It does pick up with what happened with our antagonist, from On a Cold Wind, Ephraim Bartok. We pick up with him and the mysterious benefactors he was heading off to talk to at the end of that story. And we'll find out what's going on there. There is actually a third one that's called That Death's Unnatural, I believe was the title of it. I never wrote any of it, so I'm not too certain. Excuse me. About the actual title. Again, until I actually publish it, titles can change. Anyway, getting back to Dissembler. I had actually started writing this some years ago. I wrote probably, I would say at a rough guess, about a third of it. And so I was thinking the other day, and I really should get back to that. Guess what I can't find? I cannot find the notebooks. The notebooks that have Dissembler in it. I can't find it. I can't find the saved files. I can't find it. However, I can't find them. So I remember in broad strokes what happens, at least through that first third. And vaguely I know what happens towards the end. So I made some quick notes about what happened, what happens in at least the first 7 chapters, I believe it is. So I'll be able to get back to that. And then, actually, the other night, much to my surprise, I was looking for something else, and I came across and I actually found the first chapter. Somewhere along the line, I had started it over again, and I found what I had written. It's like the first chapter and a half, maybe 2 chapters. Okay. So I've got them over there, and I'll be going through those. There's also a story that I am now getting serious about. It's called Stick Figures in the Snow, and I had ages ago, at least a few years ago, I had running through my mind the title, Last Ride of the Wow Boys. I have no idea where the title came from. It just popped into my head, and I was trying to think what could I do with this. And I wrote like a little scene about a guy in some kind of pod traveling between dimensions. He's being punished, and in this little circular room that he's in the center. One side is a virtual reality rig that he uses. The other side is a life support capsule where the nearly dead body of his wife is. And I never could figure out where to go from there. So, talking with my coworker, talking with some coworkers during some slow times at work, came up with some ideas. I got some ideas, and now I do have a pretty good idea of what happened with the story, and I was able to make some quick plot notes. Not an actual plot outline, just what I always do, just quick notes. Basically saying this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. If the sequence can change, the even the details can change. I don't do plot outlines after all. And I don't know where the title "Stick Figures in the Snow" came from, but I liked it, and this is what the title is. I'll figure out its meaning in the story as I go along. But I just started it. I'm like 2-3 paragraphs in, so I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm going to try and keep it short, and that's another thing that I'm trying to work on now is just some shorter pieces that I could put together into one collection. I'm also thinking of trying to get traditionally published, but everything that I've got in progress right now, firstly, is going to be too long for most publications. There's going to be too long for most publications. The thought, most places are not going to publish a 25,000 word novella. A lot of places want shorter 5,000 to 7,000 word stories. If you're lucky, you might be able to find somebody who will take a longer one, but not a lot of places out there. They're going to take novella length stories. So I'm going to try and move out of my comfort zone a little bit. Try and come up with some other kinds of stories. Maybe try some genres that I haven't written before. I do have one bouncing through my head. It would be another self-published one because it's a Section Alpha story. That involves a couple of agents trying to track down somebody who has the ability to warp reality and is going across the country, transforming people into either other creatures or inanimate objects, but that's still at a very rough stage right now. I've just started thinking about the characters, and it's going to take a while to get that to a place where I'm ready to start. So that's about it for right now. I am trying to get things. I am trying to keep to a regular schedule. I had thought about as a preview to Wanderer reading the opening chapter there, but I decided to hold off on that. I'll do that after Wanderer is officially published. So that's it. That's what I'm working on right now. If you follow me on social media, you'll see I do put up regularly pictures of my notebooks, whatever I'm working on, just as a way of tracking my progress. I had somebody once tell me, reading. He tried reading my handwriting in the picture and complained that he couldn't read it, and my only thought was, you're not supposed to. I have a hard time reading it. So anyway, so that's what I'm up to right now. I'm going to get this taken care of, and I'm going to get back to it. Links to all the books are down below. If you do buy any, please go back and leave a review. Good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter anymore. Every mention is a good mention. Any questions, anything you want to know, just leave it down in the comments. Hit me up on social media; those will be down there also. And remember, we are each of us the heroes of our own stories and the villains of someone else's. See you next week, guys.